Good morning, dear students. You are most welcome for the online session of academic year 2021 and 2022. And myself Meera madam, and I am going to deal with the biology. You all are knowing it. So, dear students, we have gone for the life processes lesson and various topics related to that lesson we have seen. That is the definition of the life processes and what life processes are important in our life. Then mode of nutrition we have seen, autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition in detail. Later on we have gone for the process of the photosynthesis, the proper process of photosynthesis along with its chemical equation I had explained you. Then what are the essential factors needed for the photosynthesis we have seen, as well as we have seen the structure of leaf and the importance of the stomata into the photosynthesis into the leaf, how the stomata is working over here, and why stomatal pore is open and closed, that also we have seen. Now we will go ahead for the next step of the photosynthesis, which is this is the last part of the photosynthesis. Later on we will go ahead into the chapter. So let's get started the lesson, further lesson of the photosynthesis, and today's topic is the factors affecting the photosynthesis. Okay students, so here I would like to mention here there are two factors which are responsible for the photosynthesis. First is external factor and internal factor. Okay, so we will talk one by one in detail every factor which is responsible for the photosynthesis or on which the rate of the photosynthesis is depend. Okay, so first we will talk about internal factors. There are two factors mainly, internal and external. External factors is also like right here. External factor. In internal factor, the first point would come, that is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. The second point will be structure of leaf. Structure of leaf. Third point will be protoplasm. Protoplasm, which is also called as a cytoplasm, which is present into the cell. Cytoplasm. Okay students, so now we will talk about one by one in chlorophyll. See, chlorophyll is the pigment which is present into the chloroplast. That all theory we have seen how chlorophyll pigments are needed for the process of the photosynthesis. So these chlorophyll pigments are very much important to have a photosynthesis process. If the chlorophyll pigments are getting reduced into the cell, then the rate of the photosynthesis is also going to get reduced. And the reason behind this pigment, the reduction of this pigment, is the nutrients. If proper nutrients the plant would not get, if the proper nutrients that particular tree would not get, then it is going to affect on the process, means generation of the photosynthesis process or the production of the chlorophyll pigments. Means if the less nutrients are provided to the plant, or if it is get from the environment, then what is going to be happen? The chlorophyll pigments are going to be reduced into the plant due to the less nutrition of the plant. Understood? So if the chlorophyll pigments are more, then the rate of the photosynthesis will be more. If the chlorophyll pigments are less, then the rate of photosynthesis will be also less. One more factor on which the photosynthesis is depend, which will come into the chlorophyll only, that is the content of the sugar or the starch material, we can say starch, which is present or which is stored into the plant. If the plant has already gone for the process of photosynthesis, and if the plant has prepared already enough starch, or the plant has already stored food in the form of starch, then the plant will no need to prepare more photosynthesis, or no more food is needed for the plant. So that what will happen? It will also going to reduce the rate of the photosynthesis. So this will come into the chlorophyll and chlorophyll only, that if the chlorophyll pigments are less, the rate of the photosynthesis is less. And why the chlorophyll pigments would be less? Because of the nutrient provided to the plant. Less nutrient, less generation of the chlorophyll. Okay. And if the sugar or the starch material is already present into the photosynthesis, into the plant or into the leaf of the plant, then no more photosynthesis is needed to prepare their food. Okay. So I hope the first point is clear for you. What is meant by structure of leaf? The structure of leaf would come under, if we are knowing the largest part of the plant is leaf, and leaf is designed, means area of the leaf is designed to acquire more and more sunlight for the process of photosynthesis. Okay, but if the leaf structure is, means the cuticle, the membrane which is present on the plant, on the leaf of the plant, that is called as a cuticle. Okay, and if this cuticle is thick, if the cuticle would be thick, then the rate of the photosynthesis is also going to be reduced. Okay, cuticle membrane means the on the leaf there is a membrane which is waxy coating, we can say. If that will be thick, then the rate of the photosynthesis will get reduced. Okay, so that this second point is what? The structure of leaf. The structure of leaf means here it will come that if the leaf is narrow, okay, we have seen in the desert plant the leaf is narrow. In that the rate of the photosynthesis is less because that is the adaptation. Narrow leaves is one kind of adaptation, I would say, but narrow leaf will lead to the less photosynthesis. Okay, and third point is the distribution of stomata. Third point is what? The distribution of stomata. We are knowing, students, the stomatal pore are mainly accumulated at the base of the plant, because stomatal pore is not only designed for exchange of gases, but it is also designed for transpiration process. Okay, means the rate of transpiration would be increased if it will be if it will be on the upper layer of the photosynthesis. So to reduce the rate of the transpiration, because what will happen, through transpiration all the water which is there into the plant will get sucked or will get absorbed, understood, which will diffuse into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor. But what will happen, the plant will always be in the need of water, so there will be less water into the plant. Okay, and all the processes, this respiration and all is depend on the water, because water is needed for the plant. Okay, but what would happen if it will get vanish, means the water content will be reduced, then the plant will photosynthesis is also going to be affected. But here what will happen, so that the stomatas are designed at the base of the plant, so means distribution of the stomata is also the factor. Okay, so that will come into the structure of leaf. Leaf structure is designed large to increase the rate of the photosynthesis, which is the largest, means this leaf structure is the large. That is the reason behind it, to have a structure large, to increase the rate of the photosynthesis. Later on, the cuticle, if the cuticle is thick, then the rate of the photosynthesis is also going to be reduced. Then third factor, which is protoplasm, means in the same we are knowing, student, there is a nucleus and beside it there is a cytoplasmic material or protoplasmic material. If that material is going to be, means dehydration of that protoplasm or cytoplasmic material would get occur, then whatever the cell organelles are there which are responsible for the life processes, that everything would come in danger, and because of it the photosynthesis process will also get affected. So dehydration of the protoplasm also going to reduce the rate of the photosynthesis. So these all are the internal factors on which the rate of the photosynthesis is depend, that is chlorophyll, structure of leaf, protoplasm, and this point will be into the structure of leaf. So this is all about the internal factors on which the rate of the photosynthesis will be depend. Now we will talk about some external factors on which the rate of the photosynthesis is depend. The first is light intensity. Light intensity. Second is CO2 concentration. temperature, and fourth is water content. Fourth is water content. Now we will see every factor in detail. Light intensity. What does it mean? But obvious, if the sunlight would increase, because we are knowing sunlight is needed for the photosynthesis. Sunlight is the essential factor for the photosynthesis. Okay, but sunlight up to the it will be working as a limiting factor. Means if it should have a limit. If it will increase more than enough, then the rate of the photosynthesis is going to be affect, or it is going to be the rate of the photosynthesis is going to be stabilized. Means more temperature, more photosynthesis. Exactly right. But if the temperature will go beyond the limit, then the rate of the photosynthesis will be stabilized. It will not increase. Okay. So that two factors we are going to see together. Suppose this is the graph. In this graph, this is the light intensity. If the temperature would, if the light intensity, and this is the rate of the photosynthesis. Okay, this is the graph to graph. It will be easier to understand for you. Okay, as the sunlight or the light intensity would increase, the rate of the photosynthesis will be increased. But it will increase up to the extent. Later on, it will be stabilized. It will be stabilized. It will not increase. But if in the atmosphere the amount of carbon dioxide will increase, if the amount of carbon dioxide will increase, then again from that point the rate of the photosynthesis will be increased, and then again it will be stabilized. I hope you understand. Suppose we will give the name for it is A, and for this we will write B. Okay, here what is sunlight is increasing, or light intensity is increasing, so rate of photosynthesis is increasing, but it will be up to certain limit. It will be up to certain limit. After it, what will happen? The rate of the photosynthesis will be stabilized. It will be constant. You can see to the graph. But after it, if into the atmosphere, if into the environment, the CO2 concentration would increase, then again the rate of the photosynthesis will be increased, but that is also for some extent. Then later on again it will be stabilized. So I hope you understand this concept, that light intensity and CO2 concentration. But obvious, if the light intensity increases into the atmosphere, then the rate of the photosynthesis increases. Okay, that is increases up to the certain extent, then it will be stabilized. At the same point, if we will try to increase the means in the surrounding or in the environment, if the concentration of CO2 is increased, then again the rate of the photosynthesis would increase, and later on again it will be stabilized. So I think I have cleared the concept about light intensity and CO2 concentration. Okay, light intensity increases, the rate of photosynthesis increases. CO2 concentration increases, the rate of photosynthesis increases. But here one more important thing is that these two are interrelated. Means CO2 concentration will increase up to the certain extent, then it will be stabilized. So I hope you understand this concept. Later on, we will move ahead for the temperature. What is meant by temperature? If the temperature would increase, then the rate of the photosynthesis will increase. Suppose here is a 10 degrees Celsius, and if it is 20 degrees Celsius, right, and it is 30 degrees Celsius. If we will go ahead, means first it was 10 degrees Celsius, then it was 20 degrees Celsius, then it is 30 degrees Celsius, then what would happen? The rate of the photosynthesis will be increased. But it will increase up till only 35 degrees Celsius. Here I can draw like this. If it is 10 degrees Celsius, then it is 20 degrees Celsius, and if it is 30 degrees Celsius, then in this case what will happen? The rate of the photosynthesis will get increased. But it will increase up till extent at 35 degrees Celsius. 35 degrees Celsius, the rate of the photosynthesis will increase. I hope you understand. From 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, 35 degree, the rate of the photosynthesis will increase. But what will happen if temperature would go beyond the limit, means from 35 degrees Celsius to 40, 42, if it will go, what will happen to the photosynthesis? The rate of the photosynthesis, here the photosynthesis will get stopped, I would say. At 35 degrees Celsius, photosynthesis will be taking place properly, no problem. But after 46 degrees Celsius, photosynthesis process stops. Photosynthesis process stops. Here the photosynthesis process does not take place. What is the reason behind it? The reason behind it is that there are certain enzymes which are carrying the process of the photosynthesis, and those enzymes are getting destroyed or are getting vanished. The term, biological term is utilized for it, that is denatured. The enzymes are getting denatured, means these are getting destroyed, so that further photosynthesis does not take place. Photosynthesis stops here. Temperature increases, the rate of the photosynthesis increases. At 35 degrees Celsius, the rate of the photosynthesis, means nicely the photosynthesis process will take place. But the temperature will go beyond 40 degrees Celsius, then photosynthesis process stops because of the certain enzymes which are present into the leaf, which are essential for the photosynthesis, that would dry up, that would vanish, that will destroy, and the process is called as a denature of the enzymes. So this factor is also essential. And one more thing here I would like to tell you, after every 10 degree, the rate of the photosynthesis is getting double. 10 to 20 rate of the photosynthesis, whatever the rate of the photosynthesis would be there, that will be exactly double when the temperature will go from 20 to 30. Okay, from 30 to 35 it will go. But after 35 degree, the photosynthesis process is slower down, and after 40 the photosynthesis process stops. Okay, so I hope this point is also cover for you. This point is also you are getting. Now we'll go ahead for the next point, that is water content. As we all are knowing, student, the water is playing an important role into the photosynthesis. Means water is utilized as a raw material into the photosynthesis, because the definition of the photosynthesis is only like that. Inorganic compounds such as carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll produces the organic compound, that is glucose, starch, which is stored into the plant with the release of life sustaining gas such as oxygen. So this is the definition, and so that water is needed for the plant. Okay, but water is also, too much water is not needed. If the water is increased into the soil, then the rate of the transpiration is increases, and the excess water is getting loose by the stomatal pore. I have said you where it is present. So through stomatal pore, what happens? The water evaporates, and that process is called as a transpiration. But water is necessary for the plant, and that water is taken up by the root hair from the root. It is getting absorbed. Okay, and we are going into the plant. There are the xylem tissues which are called as a water conducting tissues. Through these water conducting tissues, the water is absorbed and giving to all parts of the plant, as well as for the process of photosynthesis, because for photosynthesis water is required, and the further process runs to prepare the food. And the flow of the water into the plant is unidirectional. Okay, in one direction, means from the root hair the water is absorbed and sending to the upper part of the plant. So this is all about the water content. Then the next factor is the limiting factor, students. What is mean by this limiting factor? In limiting factors, three factors would come. That is light, then CO2 and temperature. Means if the light would increase into the photosynthesis process, if carbon dioxide would increase into the process of photosynthesis, and if the temperature will get reduced, then it is going to affect on the process of photosynthesis, students. Here the rate of the photosynthesis will get reduced. Light will increase, dioxide will increase, but temperature, if it will get reduced, then the rate of the photosynthesis will get reduced. Suppose light is increased, carbon dioxide is decreased, and temperature is increased. Then to student, the rate of the photosynthesis will get reduced. Means in presence of light and carbon dioxide, temperature also should be there. In presence of carbon dioxide and temperature, light should be there, as well as in presence of light and temperature, carbon dioxide also should be there. And so that the presence of all these three factors is very, very essential. If one factor is reduced, then the rate of the photosynthesis will be affected. And so that these three factors are called as a limiting factors. I hope you understand the concept that factors on which the rate of the photosynthesis is depend. Just now we have seen the internal factors, okay, and now we have seen the external factors, that is light, CO2, temperature and the water content. So I hope you understand this concept. In the next class I will start the digestive system in the human being, digestive system or the digestion into the amoeba, and then go ahead. Thank you very much.